Welcome back to the DreamHack Showdown Summer 2020. And on the screens around us, you can see our two final teams, CLG Red and Dignitas Female. And we always expected this final, and we're really excited about it because these two teams are at the top of their game, quite literally, Potter.
Yeah, definitely so. I think from day one, everyone kind of foresaw that this would be that epic grand final that we came to expect. Now, we've already had a little bit of a preview, as we said and mentioned earlier on today. These ladies, they played yesterday. It was a very, very tight, close series. CLG Red barely came out on top of that one. I do think that today it should be just as close, if not closer. Maybe we'll even see that third map coming through because Dig, I mean, they looked so damn good in their opening series this morning.
Yes, they did. And let's take a look at the bracket just so we can get an overview of the tournament and the teams that fell before the final hurdle. So as you can see, unfortunately, we just lost Able Esports White. I know that they're hanging out in Twitch chat right now. Ladies, thank you so much for being part of this. For me, you're my discovery of the tournament. I can't wait to see what you do in the future. We also had Dangerous Games, Silhouette, and That's What She Said, all going down into the lower bracket before they were eliminated. And now we have CLG Red, who flew through the top bracket. And we have Dignitas, who had a little bit of a tougher journey to get there. But I have a feeling that their biggest fight is yet to come. And talking about CLG Red to start off with, they did beat Dignitas already yesterday. But afterwards, Potter, I didn't seem that happy about it in our interview with Goose Breeder. Do you think that there are a lot of mistakes that they should be unhappy about?
I don't think so. I just think that it's hard to say, right? Because for the eye test, and even Dig ladies, they feel like they're better. CLG Red ladies individually, they feel like they're better. For me, as I've mentioned before, multiple occasions, when just purely by the eye test, watching these individual players mechanically, I think CLG Red are better individually than Dig, and I think that's how Goose was feeling yesterday as well. She didn't have the hottest series for herself performing on the stats leaderboards wise, so I think her feelings, the saltiness, you could absolutely see it. And not to mention the rivalry between these two is absolutely there.
Vilga, taking a look at both of these teams. Oh, well, let's start with CLG Red, obviously. How would you describe them in a nutshell?
Well, they're a pretty structured team, to be honest. But at the same time, like I said yesterday, both of the teams, they're super aggressive, you know? They always want to start the game with aggressive moves, establishing that they're confident, you know? They're not scared to do these moves. And this game, I think it's going to be interesting, you know? These first rounds are going to be the most important in establishing how the game is going to be, you know? Who's going to be the most confident? Is it going to be a fast game? Is it going to be a slow game? So it's going to be interesting to see.
And in comparison, how would you sum up Dignitas, Potter?
I would sum up Dignitas as teamwork and synergy. We saw them actually being so mobile across both the maps this morning on Mirage and on Train. And I think they're absolutely going to need to bring that same style versus CLG Red. If there's one thing that we saw for CLG Red is anytime they came up against that sort of fire for fire aggression that Dig brought back onto CLG Red, they started struggling just a little bit. And especially when they started losing, I'm not sure exactly what kind of CLG Red we're going to see when they have to actually fight their way back in a match, because they've just been winning so handedly. So I'm interested to see that as well. I think if Dig are as mobile as they were this morning, then they're certainly going to be able to find some holes in CLG Red.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of these players head to head. And Vilga, you've picked the AWPers.
Yeah, I picked the AWPers and in-game leaders. Diane and Amulet.
So talk to us about the similarities and differences between these two players.
I think both of them are very aggressive players. Both of them are fearless, you know? They're the one who are leading their teams into the fight. Head-to-head, the kills, the amount of kills you can see, Amulet has more kills, but it's because she had more games basically. Entry kills more as well. KD overall is better, but I think it's going to be really tight between these two in today's match.
And I think the thing that we've definitely seen so far, particularly with CLG Red, is they have utter faith in Dai's calls from the looks of it. Do we know much about Emily's calling style, Potter?
Yeah, Emily's been the in-game leader for many, many years, and she's brought this team from open all the way into main, where they're consistently making playoffs. So she's definitely got the experience under her belt, and she has a lot of help from her husband, XP3, who's their coach. And that's what I asked Sapphire about earlier, because he just became a Valorant pro. So I think he's splitting his time between the two. But Emily, I know, is very much involved in the theory behind this team. You can absolutely see that the girls on Dignitas fully have bought into whatever system that she's bringing on, because very rarely will you see the Dig ladies making any sort of a mistake. I mean, we even saw actually on the CT side of Mirage where Thea is the A player, but she was over in B, pushing through the B tunnel. So there was a lot of moving pieces for the Dig side of things, and I think that's a lot of that on Emily's shoulders.
Well, we've seen 4 maps apiece from both of these teams in the tournament so far, so let's take a look at the Veto, Dust. Oh, yep, Dust 2 and Vertigo bans. That's expected. But Potter, what are you thinking about picks right now?
I think CLG might be picked Overpass or Inferno. I'm completely wrong. They're going with Mirage here. And the Dig train pick, I think, was to be expected. But the Mirage pick coming out from CLG Red is a surprise. I know the girls on CLG Red very rarely like to play other girls on Mirage when it comes to female tournaments. So I like it, though. I like this confidence pick. We just saw Dig play on it. I know the CLG Red ladies were in the chat watching it as well. So I'm sure they got a lot of intel, a lot of little gimmicky information on Dig.
Given that CLG love to play Train, Vogel, why would Dignitas pick it against them? They lost on it yesterday.
I'm still surprised they picked Train. Train is one of the best maps of CLG, to be honest. But maybe it's because Dignitas already played 2 or 3 times this tournament Train, so they're just feeling so confident in this map, you know? They have the strats, they have the fakes, and even yesterday when they played against CLG on this map, we could see how good they pulled the rotation, how good, you know, their fakes were.
Well, do cast your vote. Let us know who you think is going to take this one. I'm totally going to dive into Twitch chat and see who our pros are backing, because I've seen quite a few of you in there. It's actually so lovely to see so many players for this tournament in the Twitch chat supporting. Thank you so much for being a part of this. But we've got to have some predictions of our own now. And Potter, considering that if we go to 3 maps, the last map is Overpass, who is going to take this?
I'm going with CLG Red here. I do think on paper, they should be winning this one. Dig, though, I mean, they've been quite the surprise for me this weekend. As I kind of usually tend to say at these tournaments, they tend to always show up when the pressure is really high. So I'm not underestimating Dig here. I don't think CLG Red are either. I think we're going to have a banger grand finals here.
Vilga.
Yeah, I think we're going to see 3 maps, to be honest. At least I want to see 3 maps. So let's hope for this. And it's hard to say. But I will go with CLG. I think they're more prepared than Dignitas for this event.
I don't think we've seen any overtime so far, but I think we might see our first overtime today. I really don't know who to go with, but I know I need to make a decision. So I'm going to go with the experts. I'm going to say CLG Red, because Artstar, although she's been playing fantastically, she's still a ringer for the team. So I know Julie's also new, but I've been really liking what I've seen from her so far. So I'm going to say CLG for this one. But what is Twitch chat saying?
Oh,
okay.
Whoa, wow.
I see you, Dignitas office. Everyone at the Dignitas office is in Twitch chat going, right, hashtag Dig. I do love how close it is. And I do love the fact that you guys are watching. You're with us for this one, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time for the grand final of the DreamHack Showdown Summer 2020. So after the break, casting our North American final, it's going to be Moses and Blair. And luckily it rhymes with Don't Go Anywhere.
We're still growing. The love we just rise on up. The sky will show you what's true. I tell myself, don't think what could have been. It's not easy. And I know that you're right where you should be. And you're happy. Close your eyes and hear me. Don't give up, baby, just don't give up. Nothing will hurt you. Break through. Rise on up, baby, just rise on up. The sky will show you what's true. Someday our roads may cross again. Who knows? And maybe this time we'll figure it out. Let's suppose, though we moved on, now we know we will stand our ground.
Well, we've finally made it. We're at the end of the road, and here we are, DreamHack Showdown. It's the grand finals. It's CLG Red, it's Dignitas. They're going head-to-head. We just saw this yesterday. It was fantastic. It was extremely close, and we're going to get it one more time here in the grand finals. I'm joined, obviously, with my boy Bleh, and we're going to kick this one off. How's it going?
It's going great. I like the emphasis on that, Jason. I'm excited. I am so ready for this. Like, looking at the matchup yesterday, I still feel like Dig didn't show everything they had. And look at the previous matchup, they just ran over Able Esports. So I'm just looking forward to see what they have in store for us here today against what I guess everyone agreed would be their arch rivals.
Yeah, they seemed very intent on just getting that previous matchup out of the way, getting it done with as quick as humanly possible, and moving on right now to the grand finals. They wanted nothing to do with delaying that any longer. A dominant victory to get them warmed up for this match. CLG Red, as you said, this is a clash that we've seen many times at multiple different tournaments. A few lineup changes, but the core lineups have a real nice rivalry going on. And we're starting with CLG Red on the defensive train, Dignitas on the attacking side, on the T side. And Thea's going to drop right down the ladder. And here we go, aggressive towards this outer bomb site.
Yeah, but Emmy is ready, just tapping away in the smoke. Does a little bit of damage, but it's going to be Jennifer who's going to open things up. Draws first blood, finding Emily. Going to find Oddstar as well. The USP doing quite a bit of damage here, but Milk, she's going to strike now. Finds one, spots a second player as well. And just running around the train, being quite a nuisance. Looking for the second kill, but Diane drops her. And it's all down now to Diane. Suddenly, Rain and Thea striking in tandem. And Diane 1v2. The kit is there right in front of us. She can pick it up, but this crossfire, this looks good, Jason.
Oh yeah, and especially you could see she's so focused on the kit. Oh, great shot! And Rain puts her down before she could turn and fight back. 1-0 for Dignitas. That's a good pistol round, even with Jennifer getting those opening 2 kills. Good recovery in the round for Dignitas, excuse me. And they've got the first on the board. So, off to a nice little start. This is their map pick as well.
Which is surprising, because it was CLG who picked Train yesterday, and it was a pretty close series, and I feel like Dig are like, you know what, we're just going to pick it again. We seem to have figured out the little issues they had on their, on their train, and we have Emmy with the dualies here, so that's going to make you happy, but it's going to be a fast play towards inner. It's going to be Milk leading the charges, going for a little bit of a spam through the coils, but Julie, they know where she is, and she's somehow still alive. How is she still alive? Thea finally finds her, and this is good here, but Jennifer shot with the scout to the toes of Rain. It's bringing down to a 4v3, still heavily favoring the T side at the moment.
Yeah, but they've got to be careful. We've seen Diane do some pretty filthy things with these scouts, so a couple of tags, maybe one kill goes the way of CLG Red, and this could all collapse so quickly. I'm actually kind of surprised to see them going for it, but now they've got an AK-47. Good fight, good win for Milk. And now pushing up along Sidewalk. This is the round-winning play, and she's got it. Double kill. Jennifer can do nothing in the rest of this round. Maybe take one more life with her, but no chance at winning it. And it's 2-0 for Dignitas.
And more importantly, I think they do just lose a couple of guns. Yeah, they're going to be happy with that. I think they lost just a couple of SMGs there, so AK is still going to be in play. And for CLG, it was a full investment. So we're going to come down to just the default pistols, the flashbang for Jennifer. Maybe they're going to try something with this. And while this should be an easy run for Dignitas. And for me, I just want to bring up what Vilga brought up on the desk earlier was the two players to watch for me. I'm going to agree with her. It's going to be Diane, and of course on the other side it's going to be Emily, right? Like you have the two in-game leaders, two very, very impactful offers. And this battle, the mind games, the op games, it's going to be very, very fun to watch, especially if you go all the way to map number 3.
And probably two of the most recognizable and two of the most experienced players in each of these teams as well. So, I mean, it makes sense across the board for a variety of different reasons. This is a nice, easy march into the B bomb site. It'll be a third round for Dignitas. Stack elsewhere for CLG Red that yields them nothing. So maybe you can find an exit towards the end, but if not, no big deal. Let's talk about the matchup that we saw yesterday a little bit while we're into this. Jennifer had a really good series. One of the other big surprises is we actually, maybe not surprised, but we figured out that it's actually Yuli and not Julie. That was a huge point of contention. It is indeed Yuli.
It is Yuli. I think we have agreed on that. And as long as they don't keep messing up the names.
She tweeted at me herself, so we're all good. We've got it nailed down. It's 100% now.
It is Jennifer though, right? Not Yennefer.
Yeah, that was just me being an idiot.
Okay.
Not on purpose, but it, just kind of happens naturally.
It's normal, Jason. We're in esports. We're commentators. That's the way it flows. By coming in, however, for CLG Red, we have the op out in the hands of Diane. That gets me always excited. She just has a flashbang, though, unfortunately, because of the expense. Trying to go for a little bit of a pre-fire. Timing doesn't quite work out in her favor. Now, the economy of CTs, they didn't have too much money to really invest in the utility, and they've opted to go with just the full rifles, right? 4 M4s, a mix of the A1s and the A4s. They have the op in the hands of Diane. So with Dignitas, they can take this a little slow, draw the utility, and then just go for like, a proper full-fledged execute, maybe about like 40 seconds remaining on the clock. They can play this out and take the time.
I don't mind this so much. It obviously hurts to not have all the utility. Diane's op has been excellent, but that's a perfect flashbang. Goose Beater blind. Diane gave up the angle, fell back into cover. Now look at the defense, how it has to recover, and it can't. Rain goes down. Diane, everything to do. And now it's on Yuli and Jennifer. Yuli's still far, far back behind Ivy against the back wall. A 2-on-3, a winnable situation, but Jennifer's got to deliver the goods here. One more kill to potentially find. That's an op that has Yuli pinned down, and it's in Emily's hands, and she's going to stand to the task. 1-on-2 for Jennifer.
Yeah, she's just not missing anything right now, which is terrifying. And I feel like Dig are warmed up after the game they had earlier, right? They were just steamrolling Able Esports, and right now, they're hungry for blood. And Jennifer hasn't spotted anyone out. Emily's on the hunt. Jennifer getting tagged on 20 points of health. They're just going for the kill, and Theo's going to finish her off. Dig have come to play here, Jason. This is exciting.
I think you just nailed it there. A little bit of the offhand comment. This is like it is indeed that's a factor we see all the time. A little bit coming into this warmed up for Dignitas. They just played that series. They just had an entire losers final to get warmed up in terms of communication, in terms of aim, in terms of their focus. Now here in the grand final, CLG Red may be coming in a little bit cold. So don't be too shocked or dismayed at the early advantage for Dignitas. This is still a recoverable situation for CLG. Obviously going to be a bit heartbroken to see that all of their nades did absolutely no damage whatsoever.
So this could work out. They're walking into a stack, and it's going to be Julie going to get the kill onto Milk. Emmy finds Artstar, and suddenly 2 rifles lost. 2 rifles will be retrieved, and it's going to be Dignitas heading straight for the outer bomb. So there is no CD presence. But with 2 rifles retrieved, Emmy and Yuli both having Kevlar, this is suddenly doable and looking a little scary for Dig.
This is real doable. If they can just bait these pistols. Oh, that nade could be huge. And ooh, it just falls around the other side of the corner. That could have been like an 80 damage nade. Instead, it's 0. Rain, gonna hold on in old hell. Those AK-47s picked up by the CLG Red, not put into play just yet. Here's the utility. What little utility they've salvaged. They know the position of Thea, but she's got one. Rain combines. For the moment, Dignitas is holding, and there's no kit for this CT side. It's just down to Rain, and I think that kill had to come in. Now she can play the time. Now the bomb is a teammate, and Emmy has nothing to do. It's gonna slip just barely out of their grasp. A good clutch, a good hold for Dignitas.
And Rain, she wants that kill. Well, she's going to get taken away by the bomb explosion. And Emmy, some saving grace. They do deal a little bit of damage, and then op retrieved. That's nice. I know they have the money for the op buy for Diane, but of course a little bit of extra money in the coffers is going to be something they're going to be happy with. Good recovery coming out there. And Rain, she was looking untouchable on the T Southern train just a couple of hours back against Able Esports, and she isn't stopping right now. But the second full buy coming up for CLG Red here, but for Dig, it's a great start. 5-0 up on their map pick.
Yeah, they've got to be pleased, even with that round being so damn close. Diane again with the AWP, sees one jump across. Oh no, never saw the other two get out. She is caught completely unawares. Emmy, however, gonna realize the danger from ladder. That's a good turn, a good read of the play. Bomb is on the ground, but the Molotov should force Emmy into the open. It's at the cost of Milk's life. And into a 2-on-2. Yuli as well moved into a new position they should not expect. Emily not even checking the angle. And now just Thea. She falls as well, and CLG Red get on the board for the first time.
Yeah, what a play from Emmy there. She needed that kill the moment her captain fell on top of the train. The replay comes in. She did a great job. She gets the bomb, immediately knows there's going to be a player on top of Pop, and can't really blame Artstar for trying to go for the immediate trade there, but good recovery from CLG despite losing their player early on. And they're going to keep, they're going to have a couple of guns to work with here, but money, that's a problem, Jason. CD side, especially in a map like Train, you need all the utility, you need all the guns, and now Diane pushing up, playing aggressive, and I like that.
Ooh, yeah, and on the other side of the spindle, she's going to hear that drop. That's an easy kill. No one to attempt to trade at lower ramp. So a 5-on-4. That's might look a little bit silly for Milk, but obviously with, a Tech 9 trying to make something happen, maybe you get into a position where you catch someone off guard or unaware of that possibility. Obviously it doesn't work out. So, yeah, it does look a little bit silly, but I'm fine with the risk. Really big issue for Dignitas is running out of nades. Smoke and 2 flashes and over a minute left in the round.
And one thing they've been good at doing is once they get near the bomb site and kind of start swarming the CD side defense, they have been able to find quite a bit of success. And the Galil 2 AKs P250, it can work out. The power tower, Jason, dropping down, not finding anything, but Goose Reader playing up close, playing towards the E-box. She does have backup, and she's gonna go. No, you can't miss those. You can't miss those. And Emily, I think that was just jumping shot. It's Thea with 2 quick kills. How has this round turned around? I have no idea, but Yuli's position, are they expecting one more player here? I don't know. They don't. Doesn't really matter. Rain just spins around, takes her head off. How did Dignitas win that 4v5 without losing a single player? I have no idea. Yeah,
I mean, you said it. There's at least 2 fights in there that CLG Red players probably should have won. And obviously very much missed those shots, missed those opportunities. And that's tough to deal with. First, the one on Goose Breeder, letting them get out towards E-Box without even a single kill. That follow-up, I believe it was Yuli and Old Hell. Those are 2 fights that should have been won, and then you have a chance to take the round. But man, what a great response for Dignitas going into a timeout as well. Immediate return after losing a round and putting the economy of CLG Red in a really weird position. Diane and Jennifer can both buy, but everyone else is a bit busted, so they'll have to sit one out. Maybe Jennifer drops some deagles, some pistols. But CLG Red's going to have to wait again, and this is really tough to swallow at this point in the game.
And also that round was kind of one of these early pivot rounds where it could go either way. And Dignitas' money wasn't great, right? We had Milk with the Tech 9, we had a player with the P250, they just had 3 rifles. And if CLG Red hadn't won that round, we'd be seeing Dig right now just with the pistols instead. Somehow, Dig, I mean, yeah, they're really fired up, but it's kind of a cold start for CLG Red. They have invested a bit into, a few pistols. Scout in the hands of Jennifer.
Definitely is a cold start. The question is, how long does it last? That's the thing that you have to be thinking about if you're CLG Red. You can still recover. Obviously, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be anything you're happy about. But at this point, as we've seen a couple times in this matchup, the goal is to get enough rounds to where our comeback is even feasible.
Oh, Jennifer gets the tag and lucky to stay alive. They're rained down at 12 HP. Probably going to be staying back a bit on the back lines. Bomb going to be planted here. Artstar not covering the teammate. That is a little bit of a problem. However, the trade is quick and fast. But Emmy finds Rain from behind suddenly again. Man advantage for CLG Red, however, weaponry advantage firmly with Dignitas, and they're going to still get the bomb down here. Now, Art, Thea, and Milk. Thea especially has been just unstoppable so far. They know exactly where Emmy is. They need to neutralize Emmy right now. She's the player with the rifle, and Emmy's going to strike Jennifer with the scout, and suddenly it's all in Thea. 1v4. Bomb has been planted for her, but she's got to win all these duels, and they're doing a very good job keeping her at bay. That is a brilliant pre-fire to Yuli, but Diane with the quick trade ensuring that she's not able to pull off the clutch. And, well, the second round of CLG Red, a weird round to win, but a win is a win.
That's that's not bad at all for CLG Red. That's a brilliant comeback in the round. Well done from them. Dignitas losing track. That delaying the bomb plant, if that bomb goes down initially, changes the whole nature of the round. The fact that they prevent that bomb from being planted initially allows the utility to expire. All those smokes allows time for those flanks to come in and really be impactful. By the way, great job from Emmy in T-mid as well. Not being too impatient, holding her position for the moment, and capitalizing on the fight presented. So, 6-2 lead for Dignitas on the T side. But CLG Red fighting back. As we've had 3 rounds go back and forth, and Diane looking to get involved. Only 4 kills so far in this game. 27 ADR, and that's a shoulder peek that baits out the shot.
Now, knowing a position, what are they going to do with this dig? Slowly creeping up towards Brown Halls. That's great work there. Just a shoulder peek, and immediately they know that Brown Halls is in their control. Now, for CLG, they haven't really fallen back, right? They have 2 players there. Diane with the op, like you said, kind of a quiet start, and she, of course, has Jennifer, who has been looking good so far, despite the team being down 6-2. And a little bit of thought it might be a little bit of a fake, but no, full commit, and that is a little weird. Jennifer, oh no, the scroll jump comes in, and she's gonna get taken down, but not before Milk has been taken down to 4 points of health. So 4v3, they're gonna get the bomb down. And you can see Emily just pushing up here, trying to use a smoke to catch one of the CTs off guard.
Oh, Diane is gonna pick off Emily. 4 on 2, and Milk goes down next. Artstar might as well say, bomb's not even planted for her. Even if she got all the kills, way too far away to stop that defuse. So she backs off with an AK-47 in hand. That's what they'll have to fight with in the next round. Someone else, maybe Milk with 3,300 and Emily as well, can split the utility duties and see what they can create with this AK-47 and armor on Artstar. Either way, this is a good recovery. CLG Red starting to get back into this game, and I guess at this point, that's all you can ask for. Baby steps one at a time, and they've strung 2 rounds in a row together.
Yeah, baby steps, and the T side was pretty good. Pretty solid T side we saw from them yesterday. So, like you said, early days, early smokes, utility being deployed by the T's towards outer. But for CLG Red, they push towards Ivy, so that could be a good flank. They wanted to try and get the bomb down. Goose Greeter from above, just spraying blindly. Good for just 1 kill, but Evie spins around, 2 frags for her, but a bomb has been planted. But this postman, I don't think they're going to be able to pull anything off here. Yuli's already coming in from behind, from T-mains, and the only player with any weapon which would maybe do some damage is Theo. She's got a P250, and she's going to be found by Yuli any second right now.
Certainly hope so. There it is, and Emily with the Glock. Ooh, gets 1 kill. No chance of winning this. She is going to go down. Either way, I think the scary part in this round for CLG Red, it's happened a couple other rounds as well in this game so far. There's a lot of space out T-mid for Dignitas to work with. They have largely been able to get control behind those trains and over towards E-Box whenever they've wanted it. CLG Red has to be really careful about what they're allowing Dignitas to get away with, because if that's a gun round, man, there's way more of an issue.
I want to see a little bit more of what we saw from CLG Red. This is just the previous round where they went for that early Ivy control. Because if they do start doing this early in some of these gun rounds, that's a lot of real estate gained, and Jennifer just pushing on up.
Look at this block. Look at CLG Red here. All 5 players outside. Not a soul inside. What? Jennifer turns late, and they still get the kills. It's worked perfectly. I don't even know if they knew it's coming, but man, they couldn't have picked a better round to make that call. 5 defenders at the point of attack.
Okay, I couldn't even comprehend that. I was like, there's no way there are 5 players out. But for a moment, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of colors here towards A-bomb side. What's going on? That was interesting. It's almost like you said, it's almost like they knew exactly what Dig were up to. And this is huge. Art left alone, who, despite Dig having a great start, she's been having a little bit of a quieter game so far. Just the 1 assist, 7 ADR. You hate to see it. And there's nothing she can do. They're all sitting on the bomb here. But that was nice from CLG. Just switching it up, Jason, and considering how quiet they looked earlier, they've just woken up now.
Yeah, I would love to know what exactly prompted them to make that call. If it was a read or if they just called a little bit of a gamble on the defense. I mean, that's a really interesting call. If there's any kind of play inside, Dignitas just wins that clean. Pretty curious. Either way, this one's going to tick all the way to the end. It'll be a 5th round for CLG Red. They've closed that gap. The crazy thing, remember, keep in mind, this little run, what's going to be 4 rounds in a row for CLG Red, and the streak that's getting them back in this game, all started with a round where they only came with pistols. You know, came with an eco round or like a half-buy round for CLG Red. So they're getting underway off of that, and the narrative at the time was, man, even if they recover in this half, it's not going to be pretty. If they manage to pull a 9-6 half out of this, that's damn good.
Oh, that would be impressive. That would be so very impressive if you could do that. And also, I like to believe that, like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they did the previous round. It's just so mental, right? Just the risk of leaving the B bomb set empty, and now it's not empty, it's Jennifer, but they're gonna be running in the Molotov. It's gonna be a little too deep, and she's gonna find the kill onto Milk. That is massive. That's a bomb spotted out, and Jennifer's gonna have time to make her escape. Diane's there to help her out as well as Artstar with a trade, but she's alone. 18 points of health, and I don't think she's gonna be alive for much longer. She's gonna get hunted down. There's no way she's gonna find anything else. Diane with a couple extra bullets, unnecessary, but I love it. And they've tied things up. It's been almost, not almost. It's been 5 in a row for them.
5 in a row. Full losing bonus over Dignitas. And they're at the point where even outside of this buy, Rain has an AK, full utility and armor with 1,100 in the bank. Artstar with 1,600 in the bank. Even with just the full losing bonus, they don't even need the plant. They can have another strong buy in the next round. So here we go. A lot of utility spent towards T-Mid. A lot of utility spent towards T-Mid. And this time there is Jennifer towards the inner bomb site. Dignitas playing it slow and cautious, though. Look how deep they are. Pretty much every position on the map in this default, they're cautious. They don't want to deal with any aggression.
Starting to give a little bit of respect to CLG. And, Yuli. Spots the player. Doesn't repeat, which is smart. Tosses in the smoke, and it's going to delay them further. And for Dig, I know they still have time to work with, but now they got to start trying to gain a little bit of real estate, and I like this from CLG. They aggress in, Rain trying to catch one of them, but she's going to be forced back, and look how deep they are. Look at how deep Goose is. And it's just going to hold on to this. They're not going to allow Dig to get back this map control. And Goose even swapping to the AK-47. They're going to fall on back. Now it's all on to Milk. And she is going to be spotted out. That's unfortunate. Drops down at 37 points of health. But she has at least managed to make her way towards the bomb site. The rotation is taking place. And now Emily's joining in, trying to help her teammate out. The flick shot's not fast enough. Diane's going to find her now. Milk, she's got to do something, and something is exactly what she's going to do. Finds Emmy and just pushes pretty deep. She's got to find another kill, but Yuli and Jennifer, they strike in tandem. Theo left alone. 1v4. Bomb down 20 seconds, 24 seconds on the clock. This must be impossible.
Yeah, but with Thea's aim, she can at least take some guns away. That's what you're going for at the moment. Unfortunately, it's Diane at the other end of that peak. And CLG Red takes the lead, their first lead of the game, 7-6. Now 6 rounds in a row while we're at it. Man, Thea's at 16-9. Jennifer on the other side, she was a beast last night against Dignitas. She's got it again, 15-9 for her. Emmy, 12-9. All around some strong performances here.
Goose, a little bit of a slow start alongside Oddstar, but I'm impressed with CLG. It was 5-0 and 6-1 after a couple of rounds with Dignitas.
Also, it touched on, I mean, it's exactly what Potter wanted in the pregame. She mentioned that she wanted to see CLG Red put into a position where they have to play from behind. Most games that we've seen, and obviously most games in this tournament overall, and I think at least 2 of them against Dignitas last night, they've been playing from the front, right? They've at least had pretty solid leads. They've done a pretty damn good job. This is them being tested and responding to that test.
Yeah, I mean, Dig picking Train definitely means they have something up their sleeves ready for CLG. I mean, after the loss yesterday, again, I still feel like it was a way more puggier approach from both the teams yesterday, because they want to, let's be real, everyone is expecting them to reach the finals. I'm sure Dig were as well. But, you know, they want to prove that they are the best team right now in North America in female CS. And of course, right now, great start, but CLG bouncing back. And I gotta say, just based on the games I've seen so far, CLG just seemed like a little bit more of the impressive team. But right now, they aggress mid, they find nothing. They're making quite a bit of noise as well, and in a bomb site, it's going to be the focus of this attack from Dignitas, and just one player holding the line. It's Jennifer, and she's playing way at the back. It's going to be a retake here for CLG Red.
Good timely Molotov. New angle with the AUG. The Flames doing a decent amount of damage. And Jennifer looking for the first target. She's got to adjust down. Milk brought the 69, Rain at 53. But Emily's made it into connector. Oh, and Emmy had no clue. Emily's going to get aggressive and push all the way towards middle and wrap around. So she's just turned into a ghost. And actually, that's a pretty genius play. CLG Red is going to be paranoid about that connector position this whole time. And it might not even come to matter. Yuli gets 1 kill onto Thea, a 2-on-3. But remember, still no idea where this third player has relocated to. And that's it. That's the round over. I think it's Artstar's first kill of the half of the map. And it's all tied up again, 7-7.
It's good response to Dignitas. They're like, all right, you're going to keep aggressing towards outer? Fine. We're just going to go for a delayed play. And second kill, Jason. We don't like to point that out. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, drag her through the mud or anything. I just, important frag, that first one to get on the board.
Well, at least for CLG, they strung those rounds together, and there were some pretty convincing rounds. So despite losing that round, their money won't be a problem as we do enter the final round of this first half. And Diane sticking around for a little bit too long. She's going to be fine. 68 points of health. Is she going to go for the re-peek is the question. She has a flashbang from her teammate. She's going to go with a peek. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed flashbang. And Thea's going to find herself without a head.
Yeah, she didn't even need the flashbang. It was just a bit of a safety net. Nice thing is, Milk has a Galil. She can transfer over to the AK-47. And Diane's still at the center bomb, so they're going to watch upper with the AWP. All 4 members of Dignitas are coming towards box hall. So this is going to be a hit towards the B bomb site for the final 15th round of the half. And this round dictates who goes into the second half, with a lead. That smoke on lower ramp might just delay things long enough, and that might also give the indication over to CLG Red. Remember, it's quiet across the map for this whole time, and now that smoke is going to cause even more quiet for 17 seconds, and that should be what tells CLG Red, like, something's up, something's weird.
Something weird this way is definitely coming, and it is going to be Jennifer. She has been a rock in that Molotov. The timing is absolute perfection. They need to do something right now. 33 seconds on the clock. They're going to extinguish the flames, setting up for the final round of utility. There's a lot of Molotovs, so they're going to make life a little miserable for Jennifer, but she's in such a great spot. She's going to go for the contact play. Flashbang out from her teammates. Brilliant flash. She's going to make up for it. No, she gets the kill finally, and somehow Rain is still alive and replies back. But look at how low they are. Rain with a double. That is massive. And suddenly Yuli and Goosebreeder on the retake. But one nade, one Molotov can just take them down. Unfortunately, they're just down to the 2 flashbangs.
Anything, but they might find that this clutch is a little bit easier for them to do because of the HP. They might be surprised at how quickly these players fall. Someone needs to tap that bomb right now. Force the peaks. There's the first one. Bomb just about halfway ticked. Molotov comes out onto it. Goosebreeder's climbed up. It's both the low HP players there. Oh, and the flame just spreads enough to hold Yuli back. That's it. That's the round. It's going to be Dignitas 8-7. They're surely going to peak with that, and even Blind Milk has the kill. 8-7, a 1-round lead for Dignitas out of the T side of Train. We're going to head to a break. When we come back, we'll finish off this first map of the Grand Finals. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah, cause it feels good right now. Yeah. Gotta show me the money. Yeah. Come on. Never been around wealth, now I'm surrounded. Nice cars at the mansion right next to the fountain. CEOs in business suits and private accountants. Yeah. Summertime parties by the pool, we lounging. By night we out stunting on the main strip. Out of state trips, cars with the paint drip. How could you hate this? Jewelry in my chain sit. That's the life I wanna live. Show me the money. Show me the money. about the lifestyle. Yeah. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Never have to worry if I have enough dough. Fashion show out in Paris in the front row. Party every night, I don't have time to sleep. Next day it's the same, just rinse and repeat. Summertime trips on a yacht to the island. Squad rolling with me and we do a lot of wildin'. A bottle of whatever you want, just put your order in. You can have as much as you want, there's plenty more of them. Yeah, show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. We will stand our ground.
Welcome back to the DreamHack Showdown train. Just coming out of the halftime break, it's Dignitas who swapped over to the CT side. They're up 8-7 over CLG Red. CLG Red who beat them last night 2-0. And probably the favorites again to take this grand final, take the trophy of the DreamHack Showdown. But they've got him on the run, at least for the moment, just barely.
Just barely. Pretty good resurgence late in the last couple of rounds, because honestly, like you said, Jason, it was looking like CLG would maybe pull off the 9-6, coming all the way from behind. And this is interesting. 3 players waiting towards inner. But the bomb, it's heading quietly towards Ivy, where Rain, who has been absolutely fantastic so far today, the entirety of today, and it's a little bit of a fake towards inner. I don't know if it's going to really work out here. No one's really budged yet, and they're going to sell this. And it's going to be Yuli, the only player to just run on out. She's going to get taken down, and now it should be the fake being very evident. Rain's still sticking around. She hears the footsteps, and the jig is up.
Yeah, that smoke's going to be way, way too late. They're already past it as well. There goes Rain, a 1-for-1 trade, not bad. Milk as well, swinging around the bomb train, gets gushed. Oh, finds another one. What a great shot. And that is heartbreaking because it's Goose Breeder left and a 1 versus 3. Milk's got that as well, a quad kill in the round, and now they're up by 2. Now, think of this as well. They did play this map in the series yesterday. It was a 16-13 victory for CLG Red, but it was a defensive affair. Yesterday, Dignitas was able to put up 10 rounds on their CT side, and obviously if that happens here, this is just going to be an easy victory for them to march towards. The fact that they were able to have such a good start on the T side and get so many more rounds makes this such a better half.
Especially considering Milk yesterday was comparatively a little quiet, I felt like, against CLG, and this is a hell of a start. Quad kill and pistol round. And yeah, Dig showing why they picked this map. They seem to have a number of what CLG Red have been up to, and this is just a full eco here. Nothing too special, should be a pretty easy mop up, and Emily, 1 HP. Lands a headshot, no problem. Keep all 5 players alive.
Now it starts to get a bit dangerous for CLG Red. This is one of those, I mean, it's still close in the scoreboard, but losing here, this round is kind of pivotal for CLG Red to see how the rest of this half is going to go. Either they're playing from a deep hole and playing to come back, or they're keeping it neck and neck. And we'll see how CLG Red manages it. Utility out towards T-Red from Team Main, and Thea going to get a lot of action. And it's a double kill instead for Goose Breeder on the entries. Emily with just barely a response. A headshot from the scout, but she's going to be stuck in this position. And now she's boxed in by Emmy. She still somehow wins the fight, and Goose Breeder goes down next.
Oh, that's so impressive. That is so impressive. Gets 1. Good job. Second kill against the AK-47. I think it was Galil, I'm not too sure. But this is a problem for CLG Red, despite 2 brilliant opening kills. Now, Milk, spots out a player, both of them, Milk going for a wild spray. Unfortunately, not able to do too much of damage, despite having the element of surprise. Emily comes running out, spots a player, spots the bomb, and Diane pushing into the flames, has no idea where Rain is, and it's all in Jennifer. They should have an inkling where she is, but for now, she seems safe.
Well, as soon as she shows herself, she's in trouble. That Molotov, yeah, now she's definitely screwed. That Molotov gonna spread. And Emily's going to shoot through the wall. Only so many places you could hide. And Dignitas do win this all-important round. 11-7. A 4-round lead as Dignitas look like they're marching towards a map 1 victory.
Emily's sick, man. That was so impressive. I know she's not like top fragging right on the server, but just staying alive for that long and getting 2 kills, especially with the scout, and that was CLG with the full buy. At least they get the bomb down, but money's gonna be, like you said, yeah, it's gonna be kind of in a weird place. A few pistols upgraded, a little bit of Kevlar, a handful of utility, but yeah, I agree with you. I feel like Dig just seem to be in the driver's seat here, even when things don't really go their way. Their ability to kind of recover so very convincingly. It has me convinced right now.
Well, that's some of my favorite times of Counter-Strike is when you feel like you've got the right read of a situation, where you get excited, where you start to believe. That's where I get pumped up, because I like to see the fall. 5-on-4 for CLG Red, and almost actually a 5-on-3. Emily's lucky to be alive with just 6 HP. Jennifer gonna peek again. Swings out wide. That's a 1D and a half. Milk goes down, and she's already got Emily low. She's gonna continue forward. Oh, she's just dominating everyone. This is a reign of terror from Jennifer, and I think she's just won the round for her team. Thea and Emily have a combined 28 HP, and they're in the same position, and Jennifer might as well just go for it. Go for the throat, because Emily is right around the corner. Otherwise, Emmy's gonna get it with this deagle. There's the find. And Jennifer has dealt a huge blow to the Dignitas defense.
Looks like you're right, Jason. Every time I start to believe, I'm like, they're convincing me. They lose the 5 pistols. You're right. You have a knack, and I have a knack as well.
We're just cursed for whatever reason. I mean, for you, it's just kind of funny because first it was Asian Counter-Strike, now it's women's Counter-Strike. For me, it's just an all-around general curse.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. I like my curses being a little bit more specific than just my life being a
just
complete
the general,
mess.
universal curse.
What a round to win, though. That was insane from Jennifer. Like, the first tag comes in, you're like, okay, she might get 1 frag, but 2, 3, all 5 players staying alive. That is so very impressive. And for Dig, little messy money-wise. They have cash and Rain and Thea, but if you look at the cash for the rest of the players, an average of 3K on Oddstar, Milk, and Emily. And that means I expect to see a few pistols coming out here. And you got to understand, like, even though Dig had the lead initially winning the pistol round, 11-8, anything could happen, right? CD side economy, again, we keep harping on the money. If you keep losing your money, if you keep losing players, even in your winning rounds, there's going to be a point in time where CLG Red are going to be able to string a couple of rounds together back-to-back without really facing too much of a defense, because you just don't have the cash or the utility or the weaponry. And that is something that's going to be on the back of Dig's mind at the moment.
I think what's really, really tough as well to deal with, if you're Dignitas and you end up losing this map, you look back and you just lose an eco here due to the fine work of Jennifer. You lost an eco in the first half as well. It was how they got started, how they got their streak going on that let them keep this map close. That gave them an opportunity to be in this situation. So that'll be a pretty tough thing to look back on if you're Dig. Yet to see if it's going to have the disastrous results of losing the map. They still have a three-round lead. But this is looking like kind of, I mean, remember, yesterday on Nuke was that performance from Jennifer as well, where she dropped something crazy like 25, 27 kills and just carried CLG Red through the map. Again, she's having such a sick performance. 19 kills, obviously a great impactful round in the previous that gets them back to the win. And here's that economy that's not so decimated, but it's definitely takes a big hit. 2 scouts and a few upgraded pistols for Dignitas.
And you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Anything could happen, honestly. The double scouts, Emily especially with the scout, we've seen what she could do here. And CLG are aware of that. They're aware that the money for Dig could be in a weird spot. They haven't really faced too much of any barrage of utility, so they're aware that Dig right now just waiting patiently. Either it's a full eco, or it's kind of like a forced buy, or a semi-investment like this. And they're aware, and they are a little paranoid, and that's fair. Look at how passive they're being. Just waiting for a push towards Ivy, waiting for a push towards Team Mid. At least they do have some control of Brown Halls, and that's something they can work with. Goose Breeder. The bullet goes whizzing past her, and she knows that, yeah, a couple of scouts in play. And the head towards inner, that could be the right call. There's only one player, that Thea, but she has been looking very, very sharp today.
She's been looking sharp most every time we see her at this event, or throughout the different series she's played this weekend. Pretty impressed. This is the first time I've been able to catch her games, and obviously doing some very good work for Dignitas. Emily, vision obscured slightly by this smoke, although, I mean, Yuli showing a little bit of leg is quite nice. That's going to help out. Oh, and there's a good shot from Diane, dropping down with the AWP, and despite the early tag, it is obliteration for CLG Red, 9-11. They're just 2 rounds back.
That looked a little messy, I won't lie, but yeah, I mean, if you're hitting shots like that, fair enough, fair play. But we get to see a replay of that shot from Diane. It wasn't even a no-scope, it was like she was scoped in. A nice little flick. But yeah, 9-11 for Dig. They didn't invest too much, but it's still not an ideal buy, is it? But I like the fact that they've invested more in the utility than the weapon. We have the 2 MP9s, the end Milk, and Train being Train. There are a lot of choke points where these SMGs can do a lot of damage. You've seen it happen time and time again. Milk is going to be flashed on into its teammate, and Molotov's going to chase her back. At least he's got a smoke to try and cover her escape, but she's going to hold on to it for now.
Not a whole lot happening for the moment. Just some basic spam. A lot of utility used by the CT side. No smokes left. 1 Molotov on Thea. That's towards the inner bomb site, so really not a whole lot to clog up these choke points with. And man, if Emmy just walks out and looks down, obviously there's a couple different ifs in that statement, but it could be a very bad day, and she is gonna check it. It's exactly what happens, and she's quiet the whole time. High risk, high reward, and this time it's the reward that has come out on top, and Jennifer misses an opportunity on the flank, and Emmy, 1 more. Artstar has forced her way into the bomb site, bomb just not being planted, but this goes from such great positioning to, oh god, you're in trouble. 4-on-3 retake attempt. Emily has got to be cautious of the smoke, but it might not matter. Inside of the bomb site, 1 goes down. Yuli gives away her position, and this is a collapse. Diane is left to pick up the pieces. 1 more would be fantastic if she can hit this long-range shot. She does have it. And now, Emily, just barely at an angle, grabs the final kill and the 10-second defuse.
What a valiant effort by Diane, but my god, that round just fell apart. I have no idea how Jennifer didn't win that deal. That was hers. Again, MP9 up close, but Art spinning around, getting the M4 shot in. Yeah, nice try from Diane, though. Like, with the AWP, I think it was a 1v3 or almost a 1v4, but in the end, not good enough. On CLG Red, well, at least on the bright side, they have money, Jason. They have money for days. They're going to go for another full-fledged buy. And for Dig, they lose 4 players on that full investment. Meaning, yes, they have the AWP in the hands of the captain. Apart from that, again, money is depleted. They're still in danger of getting reset and being in a wall of pain, just having to deal with the pistols.
Yeah, I mean, CLG Red has money for days. What they don't have is a whole lot of rounds left to play with. Dignitas just 4 away from taking this map, and it's Thea's turn for some timely aggression. She picks up the pace. She's dropped down. Oh, they heard that, though. They heard the ankles break, certainly, and she gets nothing. A little over-eager, overzealous, despite the strong play. 1 more kill for Artstar. That's the bomb that hits the ground, and she's still alive up top. A 2-on-2 situation, and she can stall things out.
Like an angel of death from above. Now she's going to drop on down, looking for more, and they're not going to be expecting this. This is brilliant from Art. Now, she is, of course, not aware of the player right behind her, and she's somehow going to spin around. 4K for Artstar. Doesn't matter if she had a quiet start to the game, Jason. That was incredible.
Yeah, and that was Jennifer taking the shot from behind, and she's been great this game, except for maybe that 1 fight right there. Missed opportunity. A lot of damage, but no kill. And unfortunately, Artstar from above, nobody could flush her out of that position. This is great. Jennifer just, maybe she just barely swings out of vision after that fight from Diane, but that one hurts. 13-9. Dignitas just 3 rounds away from a map 1 victory.
Yeah, it has been scrappy. It has been back and forth. In so many rounds, they have been on the precipice of just having to go for maybe even a double eco, but they have just stuck around. And even that round, right, they had just 2 players stay alive. The money's still not good, but like you said, for CLG Red, it's not about the money, it's about running out of rounds. And despite some killer rounds which have managed to win, they need to string a few together here. They need to break the money. They need to try and claw it back, tie things up, 13-13, maybe 14-14. But for Dig, doesn't matter how they win, as long as they're winning, they're going to be happy. Another full buy coming out for both the sides. Emily with the AWP. Art now upgrading to the AK-47.
Ooh, good spot from Thea. Pretty standard defense Drop the Molotov for safety and have the op rotate back to watch up a ramp. Default setup as well for CLG Red on the attacking side. 2 towards Ivy, 1's going to be towards T mid, and 2 whose responsibility is box halls and taking control of it. Diane had just transferred the crosshair away. Again, though, Dignitas playing with fire a little bit in terms of their utility. Not a whole lot left at just over a minute and 10 seconds ish. 3 flashbangs and 2 smokes. Could be tough for the late round situation where CLG Red has a huge advantage in the nades they bring to the party.
Yeah, but in these chaotic rounds, for some reason, they're just able to just have a slight little edge over CLG Red. CLG waiting to just burst forward. Rain holding the line. She's going to be the first point of contact. Molotov's going to make life a little miserable for Milk, but she's going to stay alive. Rain's going to find her first kill, looking for the second. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't get the frag. Now Milk in the corner, tucked away. They have no idea where she is, and she's going to strike, but Diane gets dinked down, but what a shot from her. 3v2. Everyone's low apart from Yuli and Thea. And they're going to get the bomb down with 15 seconds on the clock. The CT's wrapping around from behind.
That had to be a quick shot from Diane. 9 HP, 16 on Emmy. Both Thea and Emily in the far back, and Emily is letting Thea take point because if she goes down with no impact, Emily's just going to save this AWP. So Thea hunting down at least for the first. Pre-firing around the corner. Emily's got 1. That's low HP on top of the train. Now a 2v2, both kits in the hands, and Thea's got 1 more. Yuli, everything to do. 1-on-1, and it's Emily again with low health. She's not at the bomb just yet. Yuli's going to peek as Emily turns, and she's going to win it. All important 2 kills and picking up the AWP. And CLG Red still in this map.
Still in this map, and what a crucial round to win as well. And for Dig, it's heartbreaking, right? They win so many close rounds back to back to back. They lose one in a 1v1, and the money is in the dumpster. They have to go for an eco. Maybe if you upgraded pistols, they have gone for the nades. Emily with the Zeus as well. But it just sucks, right? It sucks, and that's how it is in Counter-Strike. You don't win those rounds convincingly on the CD side. You lose just 1, and you're just down to pistols. I hope Art gets a kill here. Let's go. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Mid-air. Gets the frag. Unfortunately, just a Mag 10, but hey.
That's all right. You've got style points. You just embarrassed your opponent. You just made him second guess the next time she wants to go jumping around a corner. And you've got the crowd on their feet, obviously. We all love to see that taser. 4 on 5. And CLG Red's just going to back away from inside slowly. So they give up a lot of map control towards box halls and white halls. And now looking like a 2-on-2 split. 2 out mid, 2 out Ivy. Would be what I'd expect at this point. The Ivy trek is quite long at this point. And team mid aggression. So Yuli, if she just remains patient, they might just walk right into her. But if she tries to turn this corner, it's dangerous. USP in hand, that's Thea. And there's Yuli backing off for the response. Meanwhile, her teammates are out Ivy. So there goes the first kill, a swing, and she handles that. It's not pretty, but the job gets done. And Rain gonna try and turn to stop the plant, but Goose Breeder's there in time, and all the danger is averted.
Yeah, that got a little scary, and Art far, far away. She still has her own Zeus, but yeah, there's nothing she can do. And for CLG Red, yeah, taking a bit of damage, but good composure. Just going for a very basic default take there towards the bomb side. And I feel like, the moment your opponents have a Zeus, you're like, yeah, they probably just have the default pistols. They haven't really invested much here. And that's a very important round for CLG to win. Surviving with most of the players alive, because you got to bear in mind, their money isn't that great either. And for Dig, though, can they go for a buy, Jason? I don't think so.
I think not with the lead you have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just wait one more, maybe a half buy. But man, if you buy now and fully invest and then lose 13-12, you're just laying out the red carpet for them to take the lead. At least here you get a fight to preserve your lead at 13-12 with everything you could want. So, yeah, I think this is a great call from Dignitas. I don't think there's really even any other option, to be fair.
Well, they do have the Mag 10, and that is something which could do a bit of damage, be a little bit more deadly. Jennifer, she's been up and down this series. Like, she's been phenomenal initially. Then we saw a couple of rounds where Emmy just saving Artstar with the op. Sorry, saving a teammate with the AWP. Is Emmy just popping off with the AWP? Easy pickings.
Here's the cool part about this, Blair, in these final, 4 or 5 rounds that we're going to have is early on, it was quite noticeable and quite obvious that CLG Red was coming into this a little bit cold, a little bit slow. That is gone now. Dignitas had that early lead that they jumped out to, taking advantage of the slow start. And they've let CLG Red get right back into this game. So the players are heating up individually. Players are catching up to Jennifer. She's still at 25 in the lead. You've got Emmy and Diane at 20. CLG Red's here to play. So these last 5 rounds of the half are going to be so difficult.
Oh, yes, they are. And I think you hit the nail on the head there, because CLG Red, they suddenly look fired up, right? They're not missing the shots. They're winning some of these duels, which they were struggling with earlier. Emily gets lucky to be alive there. Unfortunately for her, she's not able to deal any damage back. She's going to fall back to a total 1.6. Actually, going back towards Khan to support her player. That is Thea playing all by her alone. So, I mean, look at the utility that Dig have. Minute and 20 seconds on the clock. You're down to 2 smokes and 2 flashbangs. No kits. That is rough.
This round, I think they were a little bit hurt on utility coming into it, but it's certainly something that I think they might want to look at after this weekends of games and realize, at least here in this train game, and an isolated, I guess, example, they've burned through utility very quickly, and now they're stacked towards the wrong bomb site. Emily came here for the AWP at 15 HP to take herself out of a little bit of danger, but she's the only defender, and because she has such low health, it's got to be a passive setup. So bomb site control given over to CLG Red basically for free, and a lot of damage taken by Milk trying to re-entry in, and this is tough now. I think you call the save if you're Dignitas right now.
Oh, 100%. I was feeling that, and it's too late though. They're all dead. They needed to call for the save right there, considering how low the players were. They didn't have the utility for the retake. And look at CLG Red. I love that kind of like spaced out smokes. They didn't drop down towards lower. Emily was feeling very nervous. She's like, wait, where are they? When are they going to be dropping in? They wait for the smokes to bloom, push on ahead, and then all the chaos, Dignitas just gets slaughtered. And that was the buy. And now they're once more back to pistols. This is brutal. Past 4 rounds, they've had just 1 buy.
Yeah, their money got put in a really awkward situation towards the end of this half that has really limited them from fighting against this comeback. What a great second half this has been for CLG Red to match the production of Dignitas offense in the first one. Especially, as I mentioned, the first bout between these two teams, Dignitas was able to get 10 rounds on their CT side. CLG Red got 11 in their victory on Train, 16-13. And now they come in a day later, 24 hours later, and this is a very offensive affair.
Script has been flipped. CLG can take control of the pop dog area. Gonna be a double drop down. Not gonna find anyone though. Take a bit of damage. That's all right. And Art with the re-aggression. That flash should be a tell. They should know that the CD just like peered on in. And now Thea. She's alone. She's burning. She's done for. As Julian goes to team up to take her down. And that should be done unless Milk does something crazy. She has been fantastic so far in this entire game. As Wayne gets found out in Milk. No one checks her. She's got to find 2. There we go. 2 quick kills. Guns retrieved. And now, CLG Red, they have to make some haste towards the outer bomb side, and they spotted Emily playing all the way towards Ivy, but suddenly this is doable, Jason. This is somehow, I kind of like to believe here. 2 AKs, I know they don't have the Kevlar, they don't have the kits and whatnot, but at least they can deal some damage, if not win the round.
Bomb has been planted.
But I don't think it matters, because the money is ridiculous for CLG Red right now.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to theorize about, because I think in a 2-on-3 at 13-13, when you haven't really been able to fight and you have 2 salvaged AK-47s, I don't think you can really hold back the emotional impulse to go for the round. But it would be like a really cool round to save and just say, this is a cool way to get a leg up on the money situation for the last, 3 rounds of the half. Unfortunately, they don't go that route, and they might lose both of those AKs, because as you mentioned, CLG Red is rich as hell. They're on the hunt. And Artstar just waiting on the other side of the spawn wall. I don't think she'll be found. Steps towards the explosion. Right at the end, she does get found. 14-13. CLG Red just 2 away.
I agree. Like seeing these two guns. I mean, they still have the full buy over here, but it's not just about this, right? Like if they lose this round, CLG Red, they are going to be on map point.
It could be an extra op in these past 3 rounds if they were able to keep those AKs.
Could have, would have, Jason. Such is life. Can be a mean mistress at times. And Jennifer getting abused by the utility. And now I like this, but the timing is absolutely terrible. But Emily, she replies back. Finds Emmy. She's going to be aware of the second player, just spinning around, looking to find something, looking to no-scope fools, but Yuli's going to find Arthur. But Emily, she's just running around, being a beast with an AWP, just quick scoping in. Diane replies, and now it's Thea and Emily. Emily coming from behind. The shot will miss, though, unfortunately, and now Thea, 1v3. She might as well just go for this at this point in time. They haven't got a bomb down yet. She's managed to push her way through the smoke. She's going to find Goose Reader. She's not. Goose is going to have a number 15-13. CLG Red, they were 5-0 down, 6-1 down earlier in the beginning in this map. And look at them now, 1 round away.
Something changed in this map because this Dignitas is losing all their composure on defense. I mean, that's a round where that 1-for-1 towards Ivy really takes a lot of eyes off of Team Mid, off the choke points elsewhere, Team Mid and ladder. And a couple players were able to sneak out from CLG Red before Dignitas even realized it. There was so much chaos, so much confusion about what was happening. Dignitas just allowed these huge gaps to form in their defense. And now it's 15-13, potentially the last round of the map. And Dignitas on the verge of giving away a solid lead. All 5 players for CLG Red going to attack this inner bomb site. It's Thea with an SMG. She's going to push up. She has a Molotov, but this fight, there's no way she's going to use it. A little bit slow in the take, and now it's just Emily. CLG Red going to press the issue. She might get one, but not even that. Emmy with a stellar headshot and a 5-on-3. This could be the first map of the grand finals going to CLG Red. And a mirror scoreline of last night's game. Remember, 16-13 is what CLG Red won with yesterday. Goose Breeder is going to prevent any kind of a retake. She's the first point of attack, point of resistance for CLG Red, but she's pushed all the way forward. There's Yuli with one. Brain going to grab a wide angle, but she's caught out right at the end. And there's the final 2 kills. 16-13, 2 times in a row that CLG takes train against Dignitas, and they're up 1-0 in the grand finals.
That was so impressive from CLG Red, honestly. Like, they were down 5-0, and we said, right, they didn't seem really warmed up. Dig, they really put up a fight, but in the end, that economy just screwed Dig over. I think the past 5 to 6 rounds, they had rifles, like a full buy round, at least 2 of them. That's about it. So there you have it, CLG. They bounced back. They basically had the same performance. Although this time, his train getting picked by Dignitas didn't seem to matter, did it?
No, it didn't seem at all. But I mean, they looked good. They just kind of, I don't know, they lost some steam there towards the end. I think a lot of it comes to CLG Red warming up as that map went on. It obviously became a completely different beast by the end of it. Either way, that's it from us. We're going to head to a break, and we'll see you very shortly for map 2, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the DreamHack Showdown Summer 2020, and we've just witnessed our first map of the grand final. And after a fantastic start from Dignitas, CLG looked like they warmed up and stole the map. Vilga, what happened?
Yeah, well, Dignitas started off playing really fast to show that they aren't scared, and they dominated first 5 rounds, winning every duel. And like yesterday, CLG started really slow. We could see good composure by Dignitas. You know, when they were leading, they were winning, as I said, every duel. But if something went wrong, they started like falling apart slowly but slowly. And that round, that was a break for Dignitas. That one eco round that they lost, you know? And this eco round made them change their pace, which was, in my opinion, a wrong decision. You know, they started playing slow. They started giving away this entrance for CLG. But in the end of the D side, they finished with 2 beast trusts that won them the side.
And what were the issues that CLG were having at first, Potter? Was it just simply a case of giving up too much map control on the outer side?
I don't think so. I think CLG Red had a pretty slow start, to be honest, but I also think Dignitas did a fantastic job. It's kind of what Vilga was talking about in those first 5 rounds. They did such a good job just applying the pressure, but more importantly, their trade game was on point. So any duel that they found, whether it was towards Pop Dog, whether it was towards T-Con, it was always Dignitas kind of coming out on top of that, and eventually just that outside yard, it fell in the favor for Dignitas. So a really strong trade game coming out for Dig.
Well, do you want to take us to the drawing board, Potter? Because you're actually going to take us through around from that first half.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to really highlight Dignitas' kind of fearless trading game, as I kind of alluded to. And in this round in particular, you're going to see Milk here. She's so dedicated to the cause, going out towards upper. And this is actually great because look at all the defenders from CLG Red. She maintained those 3 defenders, which is actually going to allow Thea and Emily to kind of do some nice teamwork towards this latter Pop Dog area. I'm just going to fast forward it just a little bit here. We're going to take a look, and this is when that flash comes out. And Emily, she's only got that P250 on her back, so of course she's going to go out first. She's flying, jumping P250's Goose Beater, and that really enables Thea to have those perfect line of sight. So if we can go to the point of view of these players, you're going to kind of see how close, tight-knit these guys are, that synergy between that ladder and T-Con, almost to perfection, and just Emily leading the charge, enabling Thea to find these easy frags, because those rotators, as I mentioned, they were kind of in the disarray. They were moving from that inner to that outside yard. Milk did a fantastic job holding those defenders there. And this was very simple approach coming out for Dig, but it really dominated those first 7-8 rounds or so of the first half.
And it felt like disrupting the rotators was such a key part of both teams' game plan. I wanted to ask about that. I think it was round 23, round 24. It was in the second half where Jennifer literally went on a tear, cleaning up the CTs on the A side, moves through connector, and then Emmy sandwiches Emily, who's just predicted where Jennifer's coming from. That round in particular, do you think if CLG hadn't won that, actually maybe Dignitas could have made a comeback on the map?
Yeah, this play from Jennifer, it was so fearless. She just came from Ivy and she got this 2 or 3 kills on A side, and Dignitas just didn't know what to do against this, you know. And I think this round in particular gave so much confidence for CLG Red. You know, it was so needed because we could see with the end of the first half how much pressure they felt.
And we're moving on to Mirage now. Potter, how much of a, I guess, trouble pick is this going to be for Dignitas?
I think, again, I don't want to underestimate Dig. I think that they had a fantastic train here, and I think I have to agree with Vilga. If that anti-eco scenario didn't happen and Jennifer didn't have an insane deagle round, we could be looking at a different sort of series here. So for Mirage, we already saw Dig play a fantastic Mirage earlier today. The CT side is what I'm assuming they're going to be starting on because this is CLG Red's pick. I think the mobility of the CT side for Dig is going to come through here, and they're going to actually have a very good defense.
Well, we'll find out what Dig's defense looks like very shortly because we're going to go to a short break. And when we come back, Blair and Moses will be taking over and taking you into that second map.